Hello, good day guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mike Piano, and okay, on today's lecture I want to show us the basic formula, the formula to get our basic chords on the piano. As a pianist, there's a formula to actually play this basic chord in case you're confused on how to do it or how to go about it. Now this formula will be helping us play on all major chords rather. This formula will help us also be able to play on all 12 keys. Yes, and you know, one of the things I do is not just to show you how to play chord on a certain key. I try to make sure you're able to translate the same thing to other keys, which means what you can play on this key with the same formula, you'll be able to use it to play all 12 keys. So but before we dive right in, please make sure you subscribe and make sure you like the video, and also make sure you share to your friends that this will be beneficial to them. So thank you. So let's move on. Let's go straight to how to do it. All right guys, welcome to the channel. Okay, before we dive right in, I just want us to know that the piano I'm using is Yamaha 8 music synthesizer. This piano is awesome, like real good, like the piano is really good, and it's weighted keys. So this is the piano I'm using, and if you go through my page, you actually see how I have been able to give tutorials on how to go about this piano. It's a very awesome piano to work with. Okay, so let's go straight into the business of the day. All right guys, the business of the day is to show us basic chord. Show us basic chord. Well, before we go on, I just want to explain to us some few music theory. Now, if you're playing a single sound like this, it's called a note. A single sound, don't forget this is a note. So when I play like this, I'm just playing notes, different notes. These are notes that I'm playing. Why, if you play combine two notes, it's called a dyad. A dyad, D-Y-A-D is dyad. But then a chord consists of 3. Don't forget this. A chord consists of 3 or more notes. So if I'm playing something like this, I'm actually playing a chord. Mind you, I'm playing on the key of C. I'm playing on the key of C. So if I'm playing 3 or more notes, to be me playing a chord. Why? One sound is called a note, 2 is called a dyad. So let's go right in. Okay, one of the difference between a note and a chord is notes are used to play melodies. Do you understand? Why chord are used to play harmony. Now harmony, I mean in music we have 3 major notes. We have 3 major parts, right? Rather, we have the soprano, the alto, and the tenor. So that 3 notes you're playing for your chord consists of the soprano, the tenor, and the alto. Taking it back, because soprano is usually the high one. So if this will be our soprano, this will be our alto, and this will be our tenor. Do you understand? That's the basic music theory I want us to understand before we dive right in. So now we are on. I want to show us how to get our basic chord, but then let's start with Do. We have the Do, the Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, which is on this major chord, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, we have 3 major chords in it. We have 3 minor chords in it, and we also have 1 diminished, which is the T. So I'm just going to explain this first, because I don't want us to be jumping from one point to another. So I'm going to explain our do. So our do consists of do, mi, and so. Now there's a particular formula. This is the part I love so much. This is the part where you'll be able to translate what this formula to another key and to any key. Now the formula is, for your do, you're going to play your do, which is the major key, which is key C. From your do, you count 4, 3. Now what I mean by 4, 3, now the 4 will take you to your mi, and the 3 will take you to your so. Don't ever forget this. From your root notes, count 4 and then 3. Now from do, we are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, which will take us to our mi. Then from our mi, we'll count 1, 2, 3, which will take us to our so. So that means if I'm on key C sharp, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, which will take me to my mi, and then 1, 2, 3, which will take me to my so. So on any key you go to, whether you go to A flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So, but we just, this formula is what you use for all your keys. To get your major chord on all 12 keys, you use this formula from your roots 4 and 3. From your roots 4 and 3. So you're able to get it on all 12 keys. So we've gotten our do chord. The next one is fa. Now for fa, we'll be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget. For your fa, we'll be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So from our do, we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we have our fa chord. So we've gotten our do. Our do is 1, 4, 3, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3. Then our fa is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just practice this like this. Then the next chord I want to show us is our so. Now our so chord consists of T, Re, and so. So we have our so here. That means from this so, we'll be coming back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backward, then 1, 2, 3 backward for our so. Don't forget, for our so, you'll be counting backward from our roots. This is the so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 backward. So 5, 3 backward for so. Now this is your do, this is your fa, this is your do, this is your so. So just keep practicing like this. So let's just try it on another key, then we'll come back to our C. On C sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 for do. Then from our roots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 for our fa. Then come back to your do. Then for our so, count backward 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So let's just practice. So you can practice that on all 12 keys. Key D. It's very simple. D sharp or E flat. Just keep practicing like this. Your fingers might be paining you, but when you feel any pain, take your hand off the piano, rest for like 1 minute, then go back at it again. F, sharp, A, B flat, B, then back to your C. So that's how to get your basic chord for just your do, your fa, and your sol. And next, I want to show us how to get our la, which is the la, the mi, and the re. Now, okay, you can actually go about it like this. So if you come to your fa, like make your fa the root, you still make, to get your fa chord now from the root, it will be 3, 4. Sorry, I didn't explain this. If you are starting from the root for do, it will be the same formula, 4 and 3. So if you go to fa roots, it will be 4 and 3 to get your fa chord. If you go to sol root, it will be 4 and 3 to get your fa chord. Why? To get a minor? Minor will now be the opposite of the major, which will be, okay, to get your do minor, that is your do minor, it will now be 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. From the roots, 3 and 4. From the roots, 3 and 4. So that means if we want to play our la from the roots, it will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we want to play re from the roots, this is re from C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mi, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why to play our diminished, which I said is the T? You play 3, 3. From your T, from the roots, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a diminish. If you don't know that now. That's a diminish. So I want to show us how to get our la, not from the roots, from your do. The last note there, just take it up. That is count 2 from the last notes. 1, 2. I'm just trying to make it simple for you. There are different ways to be able to go about it, but this is a very simple formula that helps me to be able to play all 12 keys. So from your do, just take your last note to count 2 from the last note, which is the sol. 1, 2. This is your la chord, which is a minor chord. Your la chord, which is a minor chord. Then to go to your re, okay, go to your re, then count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I said it, if you are going to your minor, it will be like an inverse of the major. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Meanwhile, to play your mi, it will be like this. From your do, remember from your la, you just took 2. But from your do to mi, you just take your do backward to T just once. So that makes your mi. Now what I'm trying to do is to make sure all your chords, you are not moving up and down to play, okay, do here and then fa, or do to sol. There's always a sol close to you, which will be the inversion of a sol. Do you understand? There's always a la. If you are in any chord, there's always a sol close to you, which we'll get to that part when we are doing our inversions. Okay, so we've gotten our do, we've gotten our fa, we've gotten our sol, we've gotten our la, we've gotten our re, we've gotten our mi, and so on. So let me just go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So you see, I didn't even have to start moving from do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's still the same thing, but I'm just playing inversions and to the closest place I can get it. Do you understand? So now the next thing we want to talk about is inversions. Inversions will just make inversions will give you more understanding rather to what I just explained. Inversion is wide, is sweet. Do you understand? Inversion will make you not be able to jump from this one to this one, and I want you to actually practice this. Do you understand? Practice this inversion. So now let me just explain before we start the practice of inversion. So now in inversion we have the roots, which is the do, and we have the first inversion, and we have the second inversion. Then back to your root. So this root is an octave high from this one, an octave high from this one. Then let's come back to our inversions. Second inversion, first inversion, then roots. Now to get our inversion on any chord, you just take the last note here, which is the do, to the next octave of the do, which is this one. That is it. So simple. I know you are like, oh my god, this is actually simple. Yes, it is. So just as I said again, you take your do from here to the next do note. So that's our first inversion. Our second inversion will now be for us to take the lowest mi here to the next one. So that's our second inversion. Then to go back to our roots, whether come backward or go forward, take the saw upward. Do you understand? So let's go over it again. Our do, take the do here to the next one, take the mi here to the upper one. So you can just do this as a practice. Just go do, then come backward, go up, come backward. One of the things I always say is accuracy before speed. So try to make sure you are able to do this slowly before you can add speed. Do you understand? Make sure you can do this slowly first, accurately, before you can add speed. Do you understand? So that's how to get the inversion. So with what I've explained, to get the inversion for fa, now if you check, this is the second inversion, then to the root. Second inversion, first inversion, roots. So from our roots, I said you take of fa, this is the root of fa, you take the last note here to the next one, to the next octave, which will make it our first inversion. Then the same thing, second inversion, first inversion, roots. So just keep practicing. So the same thing goes to our saw. Roots, take the last note to the next one, to the next high notes. First inversion, second inversion, roots. First inversion, second inversion, first inversion, roots. So just keep practicing like that till your fingers get used to them. Now there's what we call finger memory. The more you rehearse, the less you have your brain to think, and then your finger will just do the work. Because your fingers also have memory. Once they are consistent in playing this thing, your fingers just memorize them too. So it's called finger memory. So just keep practicing. Now, the goal of being a good pianist or a better pianist than you are today is just practice. And then not just practicing the right thing. If you are able to practice this, trust me, you'll be able to play all your chords from do, re, mi, fa to on all 12 keys. Do you understand? So practice, say practice makes perfect. So let's go over it again. That's your fa. So and back to our do. That's it for today, guys. Thank you.